Yo, what up, everybody? On this week's Drama Club, Michael Cohen has decided to be extra dramatic and spill all the tea in front of Congress. And later, Stef's got a love story all about Sid and Nancy and their tragic end. There is drama everywhere on this week's Drama Club.
What up, fam? It's good, y'all. Feels good, right? Yeah, I know it, dude. And without further ado, we broadcasting live.
So, we found out who the masked singer is.
Oh, I haven't watched it, man. How is it?
It's the dumbest show. Don't watch that shit. It's so stupid.
Okay, well, who is it, though? Who's the masked singer?
It's T-Pain.
Oh. I was wondering when they started advertising that, I was like, it's going to be somebody not that famous, but famous enough.
Well, the way it worked is it started with I don't know, let's say 10 singers, and they would unmask one every week, the worst one every week.
Oh, okay.
And then the winner was T-Pain. But
yo, that's low-key impressive.
But there were our girl Tori Spelling was one of them. Ricky Lake was one. Cheech.
Cheech?
Yeah. And who else? Gladys Knight. LaToya Jackson.
Of course. Well, that's cool.
Nobody watched that. That show's trash.
Yeah, don't watch this show that we're talking about. I've been watching the new season of True Detective, and I really have enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to
watched it.
No, I'm not gonna get caught up on True Detective because I didn't like the second season at all, and I realized
I didn't watch the second season at all.
I realized that every season is different, and then I heard the ending of this one was a letdown, so I'm not.
The season so far has been amazing. Oh, but you have time for the fucking Masked Singer?
No, I don't watch that show. It was a joke.
Don't lie, man. The whole season has been really good, and I really like both the main guys. You know what I was just reading? What's his face flipping out? Jeff Lewis.
Yeah.
He said finally that they are done, him and his man, after 10 years of being together.
Yeah, I saw that. Who could stay with him for 10 years though?
That was really sad though. They have a little daughter and stuff.
Aw.
Yeah. They were a handsome couple.
Oh, Luke Perry had a stroke. Did you hear about that? This dude is
saw
young.
that. Yeah. That's scary. But they don't really know. He's hospitalized right now, right?
Yeah.
He's 50. Damn, he's not that young.
He's too young to be having a stroke though.
Yeah, I thought he was in his 40s though. He looks low-key the same.
It's just a wrinklier version.
Yeah, yeah. People don't really change their look anymore. Like back in the day when people would get older, they would hella get older.
You mean
they'd get their hair all short and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was more the generation before, Generation X.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't stay up to date with trends, fashion trends.
Mm-hmm.
People don't really do that anymore.
Now you can be young as long as you feel like it.
Yeah, just stay young. Who gives a shit?
Shop at Forever 21 when you pushing 51.
Yep, why not? Nobody's gonna judge you except for us.
Yeah. And who are we?
Yeah, nobody.
So I think the hottest of hot topics this week is Michael Cohen back in the news.
Oh, yeah.
Spilling all of the tea.
It. I had court all fucking day. I was with the client all day, and I was getting all anxious because I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I heard it was fucking long.
Yeah, I think they had him in there for at least 8 hours. It was a full ass day, and he was in there today again.
I'm conflicted because that fool is I'm happy that he's talking now, but you were a fucking snake forever, so your credibility's so fucked. That's what they're gonna run it on too. They're just gonna be he's a criminal, you know?
Yeah, but there's a lot of criminals that have turned, especially in this kind of a RICO and mafia type investigations. It's always based on a rat, you know?
Yeah, this is the president. He mobbed up. Could you imagine Trump mobbed up?
He's like a wannabe mobbed up. Like, did you hear this dude that works for him? One of the top guys at the Trump organization. His name is Mike Calamari.
I saw that thing going viral on Twitter that was like, come up with your Mike Calamari Italian name. It's the name of your best friend from childhood and the last thing you ordered at an Italian restaurant.
Oh my
Melody
God.
Ravioli.
Oh God. I was thinking that like this motherfucker, I believe him. I believe what he's saying now because like he has nothing to lose at this point. He's not like getting his sentence reduced or anything. He's just like might as well fucking tell the truth at this point. So, but and also because he didn't say anything that we don't already know.
Yeah, he was just basically saying what people wanted to hear, though.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he brought the receipts.
Yeah.
He had like the checks that were cut to him and stuff. Like that's just paper evidence of what everyone already knows. So.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen with it?
Nothing. I just think that his testimony was basically him just like apologizing for the lies he told last time he was in front of Congress. I don't know that his particular testimony takes us anywhere that puts us on any road that we're not already on.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do anything without the investigation being finished.
Right.
And if the investigation comes up with nothing, then
right.
Then that's that. But they're not going to like start now before the investigation being finished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which I kept seeing that they were saying it was going to be done this week, but then
nobody knows. That like they're running a really tight ship over there. Nobody's leaking. It's not TMZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, that motherfucker's going away for a long time. Like, I hope he feels better about himself. I don't think he does. He seems like, I don't know. He just seems defeated in a lot of ways.
Yeah, his whole life is fucked. His whole career is fucked. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck is he? I mean, he could write a book. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to do something like that. Try to stay like in the entertainment side. But yeah, he's so fucked. Yeah. That's what he gets.
Mm-hmm. And he comes across like he says, "I'm getting what I deserve," pretty much. And one of the congressmen asked him, you say that Donald Trump is a racist and a con man and a liar, and what does that make you? And he was like, a fool.
Yeah.
That's true though. You a fool, but you also are a con man and a liar and probably a racist if you help this man do racist shit.
Of course, you're not gonna like stand idly by while someone's like openly racist like that, supporting and working for them if you don't also agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're all those things too and a fool.
Yeah.
So how about that? How about that? I saw something on TMZ a couple hours ago. I guess if something's on TMZ, does that mean that it's true?
Most of the time, yeah. TMZ and People Magazine are like the ones that are most fucking accurate.
TMZ says that Travis Scott is cheating on Kylie Jenner.
Oh shit.
And that's why he like canceled some shows and he flew back to LA because she confronted him with some evidence.
Oh, that is the stupidest thing, my dude. Let me tell you, your rap career is very, very going to be short-lived. And she is about to be a billionaire.
Allegedly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how that accounting is, but anyway, but I guess this happened yesterday or something, so she's having a shitty week.
Yeah. Her best friend sucks. Her man sucks.
Yep.
That sucks.
They got her order wrong at Olive Garden too. Like she's having a bad week. I feel bad for her.
TMZ's all up on the Kardashians.
And Kris definitely has a direct line to have them plant whatever she wants to plant.
Fuck yeah, I'm sure. Did you watch the new Deezus and Mero?
Yeah, I watched the first episode.
Did you like it?
It's the same as their old show. Yeah.
Oh, it's exact same?
Yeah, it's the same format. Them just like sitting next to each other talking shit, and then
with, like little video clips.
Yeah, and then they go to a table with someone in the middle, with a guest in the middle, and they talk shit. It's the same thing.
It's the same ass thing.
But they had like a little sketch. They had like a couple of sketches. So they had a thing about Green Book, where it was like an exaggerated version, like the where Mero was the driver and Jesus was the backseat guy. It was pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
I asked Chelsea hotel manager Stanley Bard to describe Sid Vicious and his common-law wife and the way they behaved in the hotel.
He was anything but vicious. In fact, I never knew him by that name. He was very quiet. He was a loner. They were sensitive people, and they seemed to get along very well. In fact, they were always holding one another in my office, so you sort of sensed that there was a great affection between them.
Oh, let's introduce ourselves.
Oh, hello, my name is Stephanie.
And hi, my name is May, and we are the Drama Club.
Welcome to the club. This is the official Drama Club meeting. We like to talk about... Go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
we like to be polite.
We're the polite club.
We're polite as fuck. We like to talk about drama, celebrities, scandals, biographies.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a way to describe us today on Twitter when this girl asked for a podcast recommendation. And I'd say we're pretty like biographical at this point.
Yeah, like E! True Hollywood Story.
Yeah, that's like totally what I think.
Which I hear they're
the mold more.
They're coming back, by the way. I saw it during the Oscars.
Yeah, they had said that, and then I saw that. Hopefully, but fuck, bring us on there. We're doing the research. We got a few episodes for you guys ready to go.
We could be one of the talking heads.
I got a backlog of all the fucking pictures that I had posted on our Instagram.
Tight.
We could get this shit popping. What's good? All right. I'm going to tell a story of a couple.
Okay.
It's a very punk rock couple.
Is it Sid and Nancy?
It sure is.
Okay, I'm ready.
As a fun fact, first I'll mention that I had a mohawk between the ages of 14 and 15 years old.
Okay, cool.
And had more than one pair of plaid pants. My brother once told my mom that I worship Satan when I bought Sex Pistol CDs at Warehouse Music. That is I aged myself a lot there.
Shout out to Warehouse.
Yeah, shout out and RIP. This is mostly from the movie Who Killed Nancy, a British documentary by Alan Parker.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of Rolling Stone articles about Sid and Nancy and just Nancy. And some interviews I found of them on YouTube.
Okay, cool. And just because I'll forget about it, but have you seen Courtney Love lately?
No, why?
She looks fucking...
Have you seen Courtney Love lately?
She looks fucking fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, my girl must be sober.
Really?
Yeah.
Speaking of, have you seen lately, I saw that actress Maria Thayer. She played the blind girl in 30 Rock.
Oh, yeah. She kind of looks like Isla Fisher.
Yes.
Are you sure it wasn't Isla Fisher?
I'm very sure. I wish. Then I really would have been excited. Instead of just like, oh, there's that girl.
Yeah.
She was fucking annoying. Anyways. So I'm going to start with the story of Sid, who was born on May 10th, 1957. And his real name is John Simon Ritchie.
Okay. John Ritchie.
He was born in London. His mother and father were both part of the Royal Air Force. And his father was a semi-professional trombone player.
Ooh. Okay. Semi-professional.
Hey.
No, but like, what are you doing with your life if you can't even be a professional trombone player? Come on.
His parents struggled financially, and after Sid was born, the family planned on packing up and moving to Ibiza.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
Sid and his mom went first, and his dad was expected to follow shortly after. He was going to stay back and send them a few checks to get settled in.
Mm-hmm.
But once they got out there, the checks failed to arrive, and his mother, Anne, realized that his dad had basically bailed on them.
That is the most gangster way to do that shit, though. Like, you go ahead. I'll be right there.
Yeah, I'll send you some money. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Take the kid, too. Anne ended up meeting and marrying another dude by the name of Christopher when Sid was 8 years old, and the family moved back to London with him. But Christopher died 6 months after they were married from sudden cancer.
Oh my God.
I know. That's fucking horrible. Sid and his mother then moved to East London, just the two of them, and they rented like this really crummy flat. And she just basically worked and was a single mom, made it work.
Okay.
In 1973, at 16 years old, Sid met John Linden while studying at a technical college. John says that when they were teens, Sid was a huge David Bowie fan who liked to hoard clothes and paint his nails and shit.
Okay.
John gave him the nickname Sid Vicious because one time when they were little, I guess Sid had a pet hamster, and that hamster's name was Sid. And he was trying to get the hamster by the hand. He was trying to grab him, but the hamster bit him, and he yelled out, "Sid is really vicious."
And thus came one of the great stage names of all time.
Seriously.
Wow. Okay. I feel
Just two kids fucking around.
I feel like my dog Lenny owes me one because he hasn't given me a cool nickname.
By age 17, Sid was hanging around London pubs and special clothes shops. He used to hang out at Vivienne Westwood's then little-known clothing store. And at that store, he met American lady by the name of Chrissy Hind. And they became friends. And then she started this little band called The Pretenders.
You might have heard of them.
Yeah, just a little ass band.
You know what I was thinking though? This is Sid is kind of on the pulse of things that are cool because Bowie wasn't. This was like Ziggy Stardust Bowie. This isn't like crossover Bowie yet. This is Vivienne Westwood also in the 70s, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a trailblazer.
Yeah, very cool. Okay.
Chrissy tried to get Sid to marry her so she could stay in the UK and get a work permit, but he was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah. Oh no. Well, you might have saved yourself from something, Chrissy. Spoiler alert.
So by age 18, Sid is squatting around friends' places because his mom, like, she tried her best, but they didn't have much. And he had to basically fend for himself once he became of age. And so she wasn't like fucking disciplining this fool like crazy, you know? She was fucking busy just trying to work and make enough for them to eat and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. She wasn't like, she couldn't be like, take that lock off your fucking neck.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, she didn't have time for that shit. She had to go clock in. So by age 18, like I said, Sid is squatting around friends' places with that same BFF, John Linden, and he's performing on the streets for money with John. And they'd cover Alice Cooper songs and said that people would give them money just to shut the fuck up because they were so loud.
Yeah.
In 1976, at the age of 19, Sid became a member of the band The Flowers of Romance.
That doesn't sound right.
Alongside
a man named Sid Vicious does not belong to a band, The Flowers of Romance.
They were goth grunge. His bandmate was Keith Levin, who later became a co-founder of the band The Clash. You guys might have heard of them also.
Fun fact, I'm wearing a Clash t-shirt in my first driver's license, but not just any Clash t-shirt. A Paul Frank as The Clash t-shirt.
Oh.
That certainly dates me.
This band, The Flowers of Romance, played alongside Shushu and the Banshees, and Sid would play drums and sing for them.
Isn't it Susie and the Banshees?
Okay.
It is, right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I just said Shushu, so obviously.
There's an X in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Susie.
Okay. He had an audition to be the lead singer for The Damned, but he missed the audition, so instead it went to Dave Vanian. Sid later came up with this idea that Dave and the rest of the Damned crew had intentionally given him wrong audition information because they didn't want him to get the part. He was super bitter about losing the spot, and he held a personal grudge against the band that later ended up becoming violent. Because Sid was a super violent kid. He just had like emotional problems, and he didn't know how to control them.
Yeah, for sure. If someone tells you, like, we're going to go live in Ibiza, and then
your dad doesn't show up ever.
Yeah, fuck.
Then you finally get kind of like another father figure, and he fucking dies.
Yeah.
And your mom's struggling and shit. She's not around to help you with that, so... During one of the Dam's performances at a punk club, an intoxicated and speed-filled Sid hurled his glass at the stage in an attempt to hit Dave, the lead singer, but it ended up missing. It shattered, flew everywhere, and then partially blinded a girl in the audience.
Oh my God.
He was arrested the next day and imprisoned at Ashford Remand Center.
Whoa. This is like that time that, was it Miguel who kicked an audience member in the face?
I forgot about that. What happened with that? Did he go to jail?
No.
Nothing happened?
No, nothing.
Wow, that's awful.
It was an accident, you can't.
Oh, he didn't like fucking kick her.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought he like fucking kicked her.
No. He just did like a running leap across like over a mosh pit type situation and like kicked this bitch in the face.
Oh man, that's awful. While he was in prison, one of the only people that visited him was Vivienne Westwood.
Oh, he was in like for real prison.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then let's shift gears and talk about Nancy for a little bit. Nancy Laura Spungen was born on February 27th, 1958 in Philadelphia. She was born with severe cyanosis. What is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. And almost died because her umbilical cord was choking her during delivery.
Mm.
She was released from the hospital after a week. Her family was a middle-class Jewish family who lived in the suburbs. Her dad was a traveling salesman, and her mom owned an organic food store.
Very cool. It's weird to think of these people as being born in the 50s for some reason.
Yeah, because they're so like a picture of a different time period.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Michael Jackson. Like you can't believe that he was born so early too.
Right.
Nancy was a difficult baby who was prescribed a liquid barbiturate when she was like a toddler or a baby. Nancy's mom, Deborah, later said, "I know it's normal for babies to scream, but Nancy did nothing but scream."
Wow.
Nancy exhibited violent behavior towards her younger sister, Susan, but really loving behavior towards her brother when she was young. She was pretty smart and skipped the 3rd grade, but she had a lot of trouble making friends because she was angry and violent.
Mm-hmm.
She once threatened to kill her family's babysitter with scissors and attempted to batter her psychiatrist.
Have you ever seen those documentaries about violent children?
Those are so fucking scary, man.
Yeah, this is what this reminds me of.
Have you ever seen one on YouTube that's like a little girl talking about how she's gonna get a knife and kill her parents?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that's like famous, right? That shit's so fucking scary. At age 11, Nancy was expelled from public school after being absent from class for over 2 weeks. Her parents then enrolled her in boarding school to try to control her erratic behavior. But in 1972, she had run away from boarding school and attempted suicide by slitting her wrists with scissors.
God.
Yeah.
The bad thing is that she's been medicated since she was a child.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at some point, you're going to start self-medicating or...
Yeah. It's like you don't see drugs as bad because you've had them your whole life.
Right.
When Nancy turned 15, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Mm.
She graduated from high school and was accepted to the University of Colorado, where she started for a while at 16. But 5 months into her freshman year at college, she was arrested for purchasing marijuana from an undercover cop.
That fucking sucks. Her life could have gone in a different direction if she could have just like stayed in school, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe,
but she's pretty wild.
But and another thing is she's so young, and to be away
crazy young
from your family like that, and to have these mental health
illnesses,
issues. Yeah.
After she got out for the marijuana charge, she was arrested almost right away for storing stolen property in her dorm room, and then the university expelled her.
Yeah.
Her dad traveled to Boulder and accepted a plea bargain on behalf of Nancy, which resulted in her being banished from the state of Colorado.
That's tight.
Yeah, but not Colorado seems pretty all right to me. Maybe like Minnesota. I wouldn't mind being banned from Minnesota.
No, it's just cool that your antics got you banned from a whole ass state.
That's just silly.
I want to be banned from like Wyoming.
Yeah,
like, probably
right?
to get banned from Wyoming, like all you have to do is probably like, I don't know, drink a beer on a Tuesday or something.
Yeah, like leave too many cans like on the floor or something.
Yeah.
Something stupid. Like your neighbor's gotten upset with you too many. Insult the neighbor. Insult all of the pies at a carnival, and you get banned from Wyoming for sure.
You had non-missionary sex.
Nancy ended up getting a small job at a shop, but she was fired on the first day. So she began supporting herself by stealing from her family and then dealing drugs.
Damn it.
So now back to Sid. Before his imprisonment for blinding that one girl, he was a huge fan of this local punk band called the Sex Pistols.
Mm-hmm.
The Sex Pistols had just lost their bassist, Glenn, and since Sid was at every one of their fucking shows, they were like, hey, man, why don't you just join the band? Because we know you know all the songs.
Yeah. And don't you play, like, the trombone semi-professionally?
Hey, man, we heard your dad played the trombone semi-professionally, so we figured you could get it together enough to do this. Sid fit in perfectly with their manager saying, Johnny Rotten is the voice of punk and Sid is the attitude.
Yeah.
Okay. Sid wore swastikas fucking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he was trying to change its meaning. Not that he believed in Nazism. But he liked being super controversial. Like, he liked getting into fights and getting people riled up. And always liked taking things a little too far.
Yeah.
One of the worst stories I heard about him was that he was fucked up at, like, their friend's house one time. And the friend had a cat. And Sid put a noose around the cat and held it up until it fucking died.
No fucking way.
Yeah, he was fucking insane.
Oh my God.
Plus he was doing drugs. Everybody talks about them doing speed and coke, but it sounds a lot like Sid loved speed.
Okay.
Because they always talk about him being methamphetamine up.
Mm-hmm.
So Sid joined the Sex Pistols and he was super charismatic on stage. He had the iconic punk look before that was even a fucking thing.
Yeah.
He was a total frontman, even though he was the bassist.
Like Gene Simmons.
Mm-hmm. Sid played his first gig with the Sex Pistols on April 3rd, 1977, when he was still 19 years old. He didn't have any bass guitar experience, and he wasn't a good player at all. He was barely a player, if you could say that.
Yeah.
So Steve Jones, their guitarist, ended up playing all of the bass parts on their debut album. Never mind the bollocks, here comes the Sex Pistols.
Hell yeah.
It ended up kind of working out anyways, because at this time, Sid got hepatitis from all the drug use.
Oh, okay.
And he ended up getting hospitalized during most of their studio sessions. By this time, Nancy had left home, like I said, and had moved to New York City, where she was working as a stripper and a prostitute. Is prostitute okay, or is that not okay?
It's not okay because it has a negative connotation.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Nancy was working as a stripper and a sex worker.
Mm-hmm.
She began following bands that played in the local bars, including the New York Dolls, the Ramones, Bad Company, and Aerosmith.
So basically, all of the best bands like of the time.
Yeah.
Where was she working with? Like, is she like straight up working at CBGB or something?
No, she wasn't a bartender.
Oh,
She
yeah,
was
yeah.
a
Okay,
stripper.
okay.
She was known as a groupie at the time who was always trying to sleep with the members of the bands that she liked, and they would like to keep her around because she was into sex, drugs, and partying just like they all were.
Yeah.
In 1977, Nancy moved to London for a while, and she heard about this little band, the Sex Pistols.
Mm-hmm.
She was originally very interested in lead singer Johnny Rotten, and she pursued him super hard, but he didn't care for her, so instead she directed her affections towards Sid, and they moved in together really quickly.
Okay, the consolation prize.
Yeah. People around... Nancy's really fucked up. Like, I feel really bad for her because I know it's not her fault all the way.
Mm-hmm.
But she's just a fucking mess. People around the scene told Sid to stay away from Nancy because she had a really bad reputation and she was drug dealing speed and heroin at the time, and people wanted to keep Sid away from that because he was already super into speed And it was already, he was already a problem. Like, they didn't need him to be linked up with Nancy.
Yeah, for sure.
They're not going to make, like, a healthy couple by any means.
How do you, like, it's hard enough to go to a new country and sort of, get adapted. How do you get so adapted that you find a connect to start dealing hard drugs?
Yeah. I think people in that scene kind of have connects like that all over, though, too.
Really? You think you can drop them like in any city, in any major city, and they'll be like...
Not any, but maybe for her it was London.
Yeah, yeah.
I also think it was pissing me off while watching Who Killed Nancy, because I think it's fucking ironic the way that these men were talking bad about Nancy, about how she had a really... Like, they all talk about, like, they say the word whore a lot. Yeah. And that she had a really shitty reputation, but it's all the same shit that they were idolizing the other guys for doing at the same fucking time. It's super sexist.
Yeah.
Nancy had a really great look to her too, just like Sid. She has a platinum blonde curly fro with these curly fringe, heavy red blush, dark eyeshadow, and heavy red lipstick. A lot of friends say that Sid was obsessed with Nancy and he never wanted to be apart from her. And a lot of people think that he lost his virginity to her.
Interesting.
I guess Sid was really shy around girls at bars, but he was super interested in girls.
Right.
But he was just like cripplingly shy in that way. And Nancy was so forward. It was perfect for them.
I mean, when your opening line is, watch me strangle this cat, I don't think that gets you very far with the ladies,
Then, yeah, it's not. You should have stayed in that fucking band, Flowers in the Attic, whatever it was. Nancy was the only person that visited Sid during his hospitalization for hepatitis. Mm-hmm. Nancy then became addicted to heroin around this time because she started dealing it. Yeah. And she is allegedly the person who introduced Sid to heroin, even though, like I said, he was already a drug user at that time. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say that Anne, Sid's mother, was the supplier for a lot of his drugs. Mm-hmm. People say that Anne would buy them for him and at times even administer the drugs for him.
Oh, I'm a cool mom.
Yeah, Anne was troubled, obviously, from all of the hardships that she had suffered with her first husband leaving her and her second husband's death, and then raising Sid on her own at a time when women weren't really expected to financially run a household. Yeah. She did end up becoming a user of drugs on her own, but I don't know if it's Sid who got her into it or the other way around. Mm-hmm. It's just fucking toxic all together. Yeah. Sid really kind of played off this junky lifestyle as a cool thing also, and he'd show off his track marks to people around the clubs and the pub scenes.
The OG heroin chic.
Yeah, he was super proud of the reckless life he was leading, and he was super proud that he and Nancy were like doing it together. Yeah. And they were like some of the first people who were like, this is what it means to be punk rock. Like, they kind of were the ones that defined like that attitude. Mm-hmm. In January 1978, the Sex Pistols embarked on a U.S. tour. It ended up lasting 2 weeks because of multiple show cancellations and deterioration within the group.
Okay. So Nancy went with them?
Yeah. Nancy went everywhere. Everywhere Sid went, Nancy went. Yeah. Primarily, the problems were the tensions between the band members, with Johnny accusing Malcolm of trying to wreck things, and the issue of Sid's worsening heroin habit and his negative interactions with the audience. And then Sid and Nancy were a big problem for the group as well, because they were always fighting, they were getting high together, and then inevitably they'd come down together, which led to more fighting, more drug use, and then trying to find the money to get high again and again. And they were just a fucking mess. Like, friends on that documentary Who Killed Nancy say that they would always, like, when they were broke and they were fiending to get high again, they would start offering to let people watch them have sex. Because they just wanted to make a buck. And their friends would all be like, no, dude. We don't want to watch you guys have sex.
How much is something like that worth, though? Like, how much you charge
Maybe
for
one
that?
hit, half a hit. And the rest of the band didn't like Sid with Nancy, and people were talking a lot of shit about her, so they didn't like her around because the audience didn't want her around. And then they'd be mean to her, and that would piss Sid off, and he'd get into fights with them over it. It was just a fucking mess. Yeah. These people are not fucking professional. This is why Punk died, because you guys are so fucking unprofessional. You can't have anything nice.
Punk is not dead. We still have Avril Lavigne. And like
oh God. In San Antonio, Sid hit an audience member on the head with his bass. The audience member then antagonized him, and Sid shouted into the microphone, F word, fucker.
Uh-huh.
And then leapt at him and punched him in the face.
Wow.
In Dallas, Sid, again in heroin withdrawal, carved the words, give me a fix, onto his bare chest with a razor. So he got on stage like bleeding and shit. This is the kind of shit that went down in the US.
Yeah.
That's why that shit couldn't last too long. It's funny because Sid is so synonymous with the Sex Pistols, but his only real contribution to the Sex Pistols was his look, attitude, and part of the controversial song Belson Was a Gas.
But that's a lot though. Like
half a song? It's a band.
No. I mean like the image and stuff, the image and the notoriety and stuff, that's something.
That's what people pay publicists and shit for now.
Yeah.
But that had nothing to do with the music.
Yeah.
After a show in San Francisco, the group broke up, freeing Sid to do whatever the fuck he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So he started down this path of destruction while recording some solo covers. He was getting gigs performing with other bands around the time, including The Clash and Johnny Thunders. He was drawing pretty large crowds and was getting okay pay, but he was turning around and spending that all on drugs.
Hey, is Johnny Thunders is from New York Dolls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. I sometimes I get a lot of these bands confused.
They're all like the same.
They're all very similar. Yeah. I like, I'm not like into like the deep cuts, but like I like a lot of like this era of punk.
Mm-hmm. The gigs that he was playing at this time turned out to be his last, and Sid and Nancy used the money he was getting paid to move into the Hotel Chelsea in New York City in room 100, registered to Mr. and Mrs. John Simon Ritchie.
Any story that starts with someone checking into the Chelsea Hotel is not going to end well.
The couple spiraled into deeper drug use and domestic violence, and Sid always attacked Nancy. On October 12th, 1978, Sid claims that he woke up from a drugged-up stupor to find Nancy Spungen dead under the sink on the bathroom floor of their room in the Hotel Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
She had a single stab wound to her lower abdomen and appeared to have bled to death for about 3 hours.
Wow.
The knife had been purchased by Sid on 42nd Street and was identical to a flip knife given to punk vocalist Steve by Dee Dee Ramone.
Mm-hmm.
According to Ramone's wife at the time, Sid bought the knife after seeing the one that Dee Dee had.
Mm-hmm.
Friends...
Get me that knife.
Friends say that he'd always have this knife on him and that he would like pull it out and start fucking poking Nancy with it when they were hanging out.
It's love. That's love.
Sid went to the store to get methadone before he called the police.
The store?
He said that Nancy still breathing when he woke up. He said that Nancy was still breathing when he woke up, so that's why he left.
Mm-hmm.
And he was immediately arrested and charged with second-degree murder. He pled not guilty and was released on bail. He said that they had fought the night before, but started giving conflicting versions of what had happened.
Mm-hmm.
First, he said, I stabbed her, but I never meant to kill her. Then he said, I don't remember what happened that night. And later during questioning, he said that Nancy had fallen on the knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Like, just pick a story and stick to it.
There was a single handprint of blood that did not match Sid's fingerprints and was taken on a bed that he did not sleep on. Mm-hmm. People also speculate about the fact that it would have taken Nancy around 3 hours to bleed to death, but she seemingly just lay in the bathtub waiting for her own death instead of going for help.
Mm-hmm.
Police reasoned that she was too high to do anything and likely just passed out.
Yeah, most likely.
But a lot of their friends speculate that Nancy might have killed herself because she was a self-harmer and she had tried suicide previously.
Mm-hmm.
Once her roommate says that she caught Nancy cutting her wrist, holding like her arm above a pan, and then just watching the blood spew from herself.
But where was the wound, in the chest or in the abdomen?
Abdomen, lower abdomen.
That's not a way that people kill themselves, though.
I know. Dude, I totally want to do an episode on Elliott Smith, but yeah, I don't really believe these as methods for killing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
On October 22nd, 10 days after Nancy's death, Sid attempted suicide by slitting his wrist with a smashed light bulb.
That's not going to work, my dude.
I always see people in like prison movies do shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Remember this is an episode of Grey's Anatomy. This woman in a prison like swallowed a fucking light bulb to get time in the hospital.
What?
That's fucking crazy, right?
Nope.
No. Sid was hospitalized at Bellevue Hospital, where he again tried to kill himself by jumping from a window while shouting, "I want to be with my Nancy."
Well,
Hospital staff was able to pull him back in before he completely jumped out. After he left that hospital, he gave an interview in 1978 and said that Nancy was meant to die and that she had always said that she would die before age 21.
You didn't have to help her.
Towards the end, he was asked if he was having fun, and he asked the interviewee if he was kidding, and then he said, "No, I'm not having fun. I'd like to be underground." On December 9th, 1978, Sid was arrested after assaulting Todd Smith, Patti Smith's brother, at a Ska-Fish concert in a nightclub. He smashed a bottle on that dude's face.
What the fuck? First of all, I didn't know Patti Smith had a brother, but
why would you?
It's weird that he's apparently a person that is like
involved in this.
Yeah.
He wasn't that cool though. Sid was sent to Rikers Island for 55 days, and he was forced. What's funny?
He was in Rikers? Like,
yeah.
Like, was he a blood or something? He's a Land King. Sid Vicious is a Land King now.
Sid Vicioso. Oh, he's a Nazi.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah. No, like
true.
That's what I think.
He's Aryan Brotherhood for sure. Yeah.
He was forced into a detoxification program at Rikers Island, and then he was released on bail on February 1st, 1979, and the bail was paid by Virgin Records.
Wow. Okay.
John Lennon also said that Mick Jagger was the one that was covering all of Sid's legal fees at the time, and he praised Jagger for never seeking publicity for that. But I don't think Jagger wanted publicity for that.
Also, it seems to me like they would be running in different circles. Like that doesn't sound. Is that
I don't know.
Is that
I just
confirmed?
Think it sucks because I wouldn't not believe John. He seems credible. It sucks because I think Sid was just a young kid too, so I think a lot of the people in the scene felt for him because everybody knew his childhood was fucked up and like he was an addict, and I think people really felt for him. They felt like he was part of their community. Maybe Jagger's totally on the outskirts of the punk community. But rock in general,
right? And I guess like you kind of see this person that's spiraling, and you think maybe I can try to make a difference, you know? And
yeah. And if not you, nobody else gives a fuck about this kid.
Yeah. Okay.
On the evening of February 1st, 1979, so the day he got out on bail, a small crew got together to celebrate Sid having made bail at their friend's Manhattan apartment. He was released to his mother Anne's care, and he got a new girlfriend at this time. Right when before he left to Rikers Island, he was already macking on this girl, Michelle Robinson.
Yo, here is an expert tip. Do not be Sid Vicious's girlfriend. It's like, just don't. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there with OJ. Like, you don't want to date these people. Don't date OJ. Don't date Sid Vicious.
What does your date night look like? What is he? Is he gonna
He's
take
gonna
you?
stab you a little bit on the leg.
He's gonna take you to watch a sewer rat drown or something.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Sid was clean since he had just finished that enforced detox program during the time on Rikers Island.
Mm-hmm.
But while at the small dinner, Sid had his friend, Peter, a photographer, deliver heroin to him.
Oh, no.
Because, that's what junkies do when they sober.
Yeah.
Friends also say that they believe that Anne, his mom, had gotten drugs for him earlier that day, like right when he got out.
Wait, so Anne is in the U.S. now too?
Yeah, she came down there to be with him. After Nancy died, she rushed to be by Sid's side.
Okay.
And I think in the footage when he's first coming out of jail, like the first time, awaiting his trial, she's like walking out with him.
Mm-hmm.
So people say that his mom had gotten him drugs earlier in that day, but that they were rubbish heroin and it didn't get him high enough.
Oh, no.
So now he's at this dinner party and it's not a fucking dinner party. Let me not say it like that. There weren't candlelights and shit. There were no linens at this fucking get together. These motherfuckers were eating on the floor with a dirty mattress nearby.
Yeah.
They show the fucking room in that documentary. This shit is not that.
Okay.
So now he's on his next hit, and his friend Elliot, who also shot up from this second batch, says that this batch was crazy strong.
Uh-huh.
His friends say that Sid was super optimistic about the future at this get-together, talking about an album he was going to work on and trying to get his career back on track if he was ever acquitted. Because kind of ironically, I think that Nancy's death showed him how famous he really was.
Yeah. So now he's like, I gotta learn to play bass.
Yeah, now he wants to be professional.
What is his album gonna be though?
Nothing. It's gonna be trash.
Yeah.
Sid took a hit of the second batch of heroin they had delivered. He passed out. His friends got him up, and then he asked for some more. His friends say that they gave the rest of the heroin to his mom, who often held drugs for him. Sid somehow got a hold of the drugs again, and he took another hit, overdosed, and died that very night.
Wow.
He was only 21 years old.
Oh.
His mother, Anne, found him naked the next morning with a syringe in his arm.
That's crazy. Why was he naked?
Because he's fucking on another planet at this time. He's taking 3 hits of heroin.
Like, I would never do heroin, but it seems to me like you would want to be somewhere like warm. Like you would want to have like a nice blanket, like maybe some fuzzy slippers. Remember on Mad Men, she said, Don Draper asked, "What does it feel like?" And his girlfriend said, "It feels like drinking a glass of whiskey while 100 people lick your tits."
That's fucking crazy. I remember in Trainspotting when he does it and he just like sinks into the mattress and like gets into like a galaxy.
Yeah, that's why I feel like you'd want to be like in a very
like cozy
environment. I don't think you want to be like naked in a drug den.
No, definitely not. But I think that's what happens when you're like so far down the fucking rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Like at that point, that's why they're saying like they're always chasing the dragon. Like they're always trying to get that. They just like literally are like fucking rushed and like they're not thinking about comfort. They're not really concerned with their environment. They're more so just trying to get famous.
That's their first problem.
Yeah, see, they didn't know what they're doing. Let me and May show you guys a good time. We would have had linens at our last dinner party for sure. What? Okay, well, what the hell was I saying? Yeah, heroin.
Yeah, heroin.
That's how, if I ever get lost during a Sid Vicious episode. Drugs, heroin, London. Okay, so people murmur about Sid's mother giving him that last hit, which he OD'd on.
Uh-huh.
Because remember I said that she would administer drugs for him sometimes?
Yeah.
It seems like he would be so fucked up that he'd like beg for her to give her some and she would do it.
Uh-huh.
Because she was using too. I never found out for sure if she was using heroin, but she was definitely using speed and stuff.
Okay.
Some of the friends they interview are super certain that Sid's mom would never do that, while others are 100% certain that she did do that. So it's kind of up to us.
Yeah.
Allegedly, no New York funeral home was willing to hold a funeral or burial for Sid due to his pending criminal charge and reputation.
What?
Yeah, so he ended up being cremated in New Jersey and his mom just held on to his ashes for a while.
Okay.
Sid had stated that he wanted to be buried with Nancy and to be with Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
But Nancy was Jewish and she was in a Jewish cemetery. So Sid's mom, Anne, traveled to Nancy's family home and asked Nancy's mother if it would be okay if she could just scatter Sid's remains over Nancy's grave. But Nancy's mom said no. But Sid's friends say that later she went ahead and did it.
Yeah.
After Sid died, his mom, Anne, said that she believed that Sid and Nancy had a suicide pact. And that's another big conspiracy theory around Nancy's death. Anne claims that after Sid was cremated, she found a handwritten note in the pocket of his jacket that said, "We had a death pact, and I have to keep my half of the bargain. Please bury me next to my baby. Bury me in my leather jacket, jeans, and boots. Goodbye."
Oh, that's how I want to be buried too. Also,
next to my baby?
No, I mean my
bury
leather
me
jacket.
next to my baby.
I just want leather jacket, jeans, and boots. Not buried though.
I don't want to be buried. Burn my ass.
Yeah.
People allege that Sid had purposely administered a fatal dose of heroin to himself because he was afraid of going back to prison and had doubts about how good his lawyers were, even though they were sure they could clear him. Because Sid had a super bad reputation, so he didn't think that he was going to get acquitted.
Yeah.
There are also theories that Nancy was murdered by somebody other than Sid, with the biggest theory being that one of the two drug dealers who visited their hotel room that night ended up killing her. That makes sense to me a little bit, but I just think, like, if that was the case, wouldn't Sid have gotten help? Like, if he really loved her, he was just gonna stand by and like let her die unless he was passed out?
Yeah, if he was already fucked up on heroin and, you know, wasn't there to see it happen.
Yeah. No, he was there. Like, neither of them ever left that night.
I mean, like, was passed out.
Yeah.
Because there was the handprint in blood.
Yeah, didn't match his fingerprints.
Yeah.
Sid's legacy is complicated because of the mystery behind Nancy's death, his constant drug use, his temper, and the fact that he didn't really play the bass. Everyone in the punk scene knew that Sid couldn't play bass and that he really wasn't contributing to any of their songwriting. But Sid was dedicated, and his bandmates say that he did try his hardest to learn to play, that he'd do speed all night and practice.
Sid Vicious is the
oh god.
Sid Vicious is the ODB of punk.
ODB is the Sid Vicious of rap. Sid had one bass during his quick career with the Sex Pistols, a white Fender Precision with a black leather strap. His mother had it after he died, and right before she died, she told Steve Jones, the guitarist, "It's been under my bed for 17 years. Someone should go ahead and have it." So he ended up giving her $2,000 for it. He said that the strap still had the name Sid etched into it with a razor.
So she had it for 17 years. So this was like in the early 90s or something?
Yep.
You would think that by then it would already be worth way more than 2,000.
Yeah, early or mid 90s. I don't think she cared so much about that because she's also a junkie. Let's not forget.
Yeah, true.
Sid's face has ended up becoming symbolic of punk's most famous period and doomed youth. And he's what they call on Wikipedia a t-shirt selling icon.
Yeah. He's like Bob Marley.
Yeah. He's like Che Guevara.
Yeah.
His death has signified the failure of punk's social ambitions. His style helped the British punk fashion land a corner with people like Vivienne Westwood leading the way. I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't talk right now. On September 6th, 1996, Sid's mother, Anne, was found dead of a suicide at 58 years old.
Oh, wow, she was young as fuck.
Yeah, she died of a drug overdose, and several friends notified the police after they all received letters in the mail from her indicating that she was going to end her life. This was the same year that the Sex Pistols went on a reunion tour, and apparently she was really upset about this, saying that it was filthy, pathetic, and that Sid would have rolled in his grave.
Why, though? I don't get it.
I don't know. Me either. She's just stupid. Because then she ended up, after Sid died, she made a punk band. And she was like touring with a little punk band, seemingly just trying to cash in on the name fame of her own son.
Get that money, girl.
Yeah, but then she wasn't happy with the reunion. Like, who cares? But don't turn around and point the finger at them.
Right. And especially because even if he was a contributing member to the band, you still, like, it's none of your business if they wanted to have a reunion. But especially him that had no contribution to, like, their songwriting or their recordings, it makes no sense.
And he wasn't a founder or anything.
Yeah.
He joined the band after they were already like pretty famous-ish.
This is
like you know that big lawsuit with Sublime?
No.
Like after Bradley died, his Sublime was still touring, obviously, and singing all of their songs, obviously.
Yeah.
And Bradley's wife sued on behalf of his daughter, basically saying that they weren't entitled to continue using the band name Sublime because Sublime included Bradley. And that if they were, then she was entitled to get paid.
Interesting.
This fucking lawsuit was super famous. We learn about it in law school because it's really important in terms of like entertainers' rights and contract law, because she ended up kind of winning.
Because he was a writer.
Yeah.
So she should
and
be getting royalties.
Those songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
But she didn't want them to use the name Sublime either without paying her. And she ended up winning, and that's why now if you see them tour, it's called Sublime with Rome.
Oh, I thought they were going by Long Beach Dub All-Stars.
No, it's Sublime with Rome. I actually know this because they're playing at some fucking casino and I just got free tickets.
Oh, so is Long Beach Dub All-Stars like the side project then?
I don't know what that is.
That's when they don't perform Sublime. That's the rest of the band Sublime, but they don't perform Sublime songs.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So that's like their new group.
Yeah.
That's funny because I was just reading, Dave Grohl did an interview. I don't remember where, but he was talking about the Foo Fighters and just after Kurt's death, like how he was in a super dark place, but he was always loved music. And so he just wanted to start writing and making music again, kind of to make himself feel better. Mm-hmm. So he just called it the Foo Fighters because he didn't really think anything of it. And he's like, now I like kick myself in the head. Like if I would have known we were going to actually be successful and I was still going to have a career, I would have picked a fucking less goofy name.
Yeah.
In 2006,
what I was gonna say is that thirsty ass Sid Vicious's mom. What's her name? Anne.
Anne, yeah.
It's like
Anne Vicious.
It's Mrs. Vicious. Mrs. Vicious, can Sid come out and play? It was like it's like Amy Winehouse's dad.
Oh yeah.
That fool thinks he's like Sinatra.
No, I feel bad. Amy's parents are not great.
Mm. I think her mom is whatever.
She's all right.
Compared to her dad, yeah.
Yeah. In 2006, the Sex Pistols, including Sid, were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but the band refused to attend the induction night. It was their final punk rock motion as a group, with their last performance taking place on October 2018 for free at the Roxy in Hollywood.
Oh.
And that's it. That's the story of Sid and Nancy.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
But there's still like the mystery though. I thought you were gonna solve it, Steph. Come on now.
Oh man, I
wish. Where are the forensics? Where are the
Oh,
receipts?
The funny thing, I don't know. Like I think he totally stabbed her. Do I think he was like consciously trying to kill her? No, I have doubts about that. But I for sure think he was the one that put the knife into her body, which led to her death.
Okay. Why was there
just because their violent history and like both their violent nature, like it's not far-fetched the way that you hear about their relationship and everything they did together. Like if there would have been video, I would have been like, of course he fucking stabbed her, you know?
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
It totally goes with their personalities.
Yeah. But I think that it's still like, I don't know. It's like if it would have gone to trial, I don't know if I could have without a, what do they say? Reasonable doubt?
Yeah.
I
Convicted him?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Also, his changing stories fuck me up.
Yeah.
But that could just be him being stupid because he's young. That's the thing, too. Like,
and the throes of heroin addiction.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe and then even if he would have gotten convicted, I'm sure it would have been like 5 years or something.
Yeah.
And it would have partially been like a drug rehab program.
Yeah. Oh, man. I saw have you ever seen the movie Sid and Nancy?
Yeah.
Which fun fact, Courtney Love, that's the reason why I thought of Courtney Love as soon as you said Sid and Nancy. She auditioned to be Nancy.
Yeah, she should have. Like, she is Nancy.
Because she is Nancy. She looks, and especially back then with her old nose and stuff, she looked a lot like her.
Yeah.
But the producers liked her, but they didn't think that she was a good enough actress to be Nancy. So she got a small part in the movie.
Aww.
I remember she was in it for like 5 minutes, but.
Whoa, she does look pretty good, May.
She looks amazing.
Wow. She and Madonna kind of look similar now.
Oh no, that's the world. That's the world that we live in, where Courtney Love is looking better than Madonna.
Isn't Madonna older though?
Yeah, Madonna's way older.
Yeah, so
but she's done too much. I think if Madonna would have aged more naturally, she would look fucking great.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, I don't know. Sometimes I think fillers look great when people first get them done. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes when you start aging, I don't know if it droops more than, like, you know, what you would have drooped. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one of those things that you just, like, really gotta keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because who was that one that was married to Donald Trump Jr.? Her pictures were, like, super dramatic from her youth to, like, her early 40s.
Vanessa?
Yeah.
Yeah. His new girlfriend has like hella fillers too. That's his type. Because Aubrey O'Day looks like that too.
Fuck yeah, she does.
I don't know her name. She's a Fox News person.
You know what I was thinking, and we never really talked about, like how the Jeff Bezos thing went down with Lauren Sanchez, and they uncovered that it was like Lauren giving the tweets to her brother, who was sending them to the dudes at National Enquirer.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was her giving it away or if it was her brother being shady.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because her brother is like an operative, like a Republican operative.
Oh my God.
My dad said something real shady about Lauren Sanchez the other day. He was like, have you heard about this Jeff Bezos thing? And I was like, yeah. And then he said, I remember his girlfriend. You used to watch her on Good Day LA in the mornings. She used to be pretty. Oh! And I was like, damn.
That is some like real, like serious man factual shade. Like,
yes.
He's not trying to show shade. He's just giving the facts.
Facts.
And that makes it even worse. There's no pettiness to that statement. He's just telling it like it is. Shout out to Jeff Bezos if he likes Latinas.
Is she a real Latina though?
Yeah, she is.
Oh,
She's
okay.
A Mexican American.
I just thought, because you know, like every anchor has an ethnic name. I just thought she had adopted that name.
I started following one of the anchors from Telemundo in the morning on Instagram because she's super pretty and I like her hair a lot.
Yeah. What kind of dresses does she wear? Because you know it's thotty. It looks like a club dress.
Dude, the thottiest fucking dresses of all time.
That's the best thing about the Spanish news, at least here in the U.S. I don't know if it's like that in other countries, but like the anchors, especially the weather girls, are just like straight thoughts. They look like they could be at the club.
They're Tatiana for sure. Yeah, they're fucking crazy. They're always wearing like the crazy. Oh, here she is, Ale Ortiz. Google her real quick.
Okay, let me look at her.
Alejandra Ortiz. #dreamer and doer. Presentadora, periodista, Telemundo 52. Fuck yeah, dude. The first picture on her Instagram is her in like the tightest dress of all time.
Woo. Oh, she does have nice hair.
Yeah, I like her hair. I like that color too.
Noticiero 52.
Like Telemundo fucking news in the morning is like just a DJ away from being like a fucking club, honestly. All they need is a DJ and for them to start dancing, and then it's like you're watching fucking.
Sometimes I dance at the end though, like when the credits come on.
I fuck that. Ew.
They're so profesh.
So profesh.
All right, guys. Well, that was this week's Drama Club. Thank you, Steph, for this wild and crazy story. Oh my God!
Don't do heroin, kids. Hit us
Unless you're wearing comfortable clothes.
Oh yeah, and in some comfortable sheets.
Yes.
Let May and I style your heroin party. What is that? Like those event planners? May and I are drug event planners. We will make this shit poppin'.
Now we're never gonna work for E.
God damn it. I'm just kidding though. We'll delete this episode after it airs. Everybody listen to it once. It's gonna be up for 52 hours. Or however many hours it took for Nancy to bleed it out. It's gonna be up for 3 hours. If you didn't listen to it, I'll pretend that I never dated.
What's this episode gonna be called?
Sid and Nancy. What did you say? Susie and the Banshees. That's what it's gonna be called. Shoo Shoo and the Banshees.
Shoo Shoo.
Hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at Drama Club Pod and on the website dramaclubpod.com.
On the hotline 505-539-0556, and we'll talk to you on Monday with our Afternoon Delight episode.
Bye.
Oi.
However, whatever with your however.